I truly believe that when you're doing any form of an executive career move, that it's really important that you're marrying up your thought leadership strategy and your networking strategy at the same time to really enhance the results that you're going to achieve when you're trying to execute that move. And, it might be for the opposite reason of what you're thinking. It's really crucial that when you're out meeting with headhunters, recruitment firms, you're activating your network, you're reaching out to people, it's really important that you stay top of mind with people. And the reality is that, I run a very busy recruitment practice. I can't remember who I met 2 weeks ago. I'll be frank. Now, obviously, I've got great systems and I've got, the ways to, look at my search, conversations, have a look at the candidate interviews that I've had. I've got great databases that support me with file notes, etc. But the reality is, when you're running a big recruitment practice, you can't remember who you met a few weeks ago. They slip off your mind, and even when in that meeting you thought, oh, that's a great candidate, I'd love to be able to place you on a role or an opportunity, because of the forward cycle, because of the forward meetings that are occurring, it's pretty easy to forget people. And so thought leadership, particularly on a platform like LinkedIn, in my opinion, is crucial for all job seekers and people who are trying to secure board appointments. Because the purpose of the thought leadership is not just thought leadership per se, it's about staying on people's radar. It's about getting into people's social media feeds. It's about coming back up to the top of the pile. It's giving you a reason maybe to do outbound reach and to connect and reach out to people in your network. And it's a sophisticated calling card. It's a sophisticated way to reach out to people. So I know when I'm on LinkedIn, and I'm on LinkedIn every day and I'm seeing the feed, I'm remembering people I met 2-3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, because they're showing up in my feed. And it's triggering me to say, oh, I've got to reach back out to, Bill, Betty, Tom, because I saw that feed, or I saw that article that they published, or I saw that video. Video is extremely powerful and it's obviously underutilized. I do them a lot. You don't have to, make them overly, sort of complicated. But, you've got to think about the world that we're now living in, trying to stay on people's agenda, trying to stay on some, people's minds. Now, I have some candidates who constantly email me on a weekly basis. Hi, Kylie, just coming to the top of your inbox. I'm looking for a board seat. And that in itself really does not work at all, in my opinion. And usually people are emailing me without the resume, without any kind of new information. They're just constantly emailing me, asking for a board seat. That is a really unsophisticated mechanism to stay on people's radar. So, in this paradigm, you're dealing with top flight executive search consultants who are extremely busy. You've got top flight board search consultants. You've got, chairmans, non-executive directors, all very busy people, captains of industry. They don't have time for those constant kind of emails saying, gimme, I'm looking for a board seat, with no kind of mechanism to really sort of re-engage with that individual. So you really have to leverage off that thought leadership strategy, and it goes hand in hand with your networking strategy. So when you're reaching out to people, maybe for the second or third time, why not take a more sophisticated approach and say, hi, Bill, great to reconnect with you. I've been studying your feed. I noticed you did X, Y, and Z. Great news on that contract you just won. By the way, I thought you might like to read this thought leadership piece that I wrote, which is really relevant to your industry. It's talking about X, Y, and Z. Love to keep in touch with you. Now, something sophisticated like that will have much more resonance than, hi, remember our conversation 4, 5, 6 weeks ago? Bill probably doesn't remember that conversation. And you need to be really thinking a lot more strategically about how you engage with people, build rapport, and, stay on people's, agendas and radars. There is a sort of a science in, the e-commerce world that people have to interact with you anywhere up to 10 times before they buy from you. And I would encourage you to take that in a similar approach with regards to candidate searches. People need to interact with you, get to know you, build rapport with you. And just very basic sort of email exchanges are not going to cut it. You've got to look at ways to leverage that thought leadership so they get to know you better, and leverage the power of the technology, the digital media world that we're living in. It's a fantastic way for a next generation board director to really stand out from the crowd.